My name's Tim Archer. I work at Empower Wealth as a senior financial planner and self-managed super fund specialist. Well, I was looking for a career change. I'd been in the IT industry for quite a number of years, and the difference between actually being able to help people in the immediate sense is something that really drew me to the industry. So I actually was listening to the podcast before I even got into the finance sector. The biggest draw card to me is really the ethical way that Ben and Bryce talk about things, and the fact that this is not just about pushing a product for money, but it's about helping people, and it's about sharing that knowledge with people, and it's really just about improving people's lives. I really just enjoy being able to turn people around and help them achieve their goals. And, there's no better feeling than getting a client who comes in and goes, I think I'm going to be working forever. And you can go, look, you know what, you can actually retire now, or we can get you to that point where you can retire. And that really just such an amazing feeling to be able to do that. Yeah, look, I've been donating plasma every 2 weeks now for quite a number of years, up to 275 odd donations, with the goal of getting to 600, which I should be able to do by the time I get into my mid-60s. I'm really involved in the SES. I've been in the SES now across between New South Wales and Victoria for over 15 years. That to me is how I relate financial planning. You know, at night I can be helping somebody who's had the house flooded or has a tree down or something, and at work I'm helping people financially. Having now been at a number of different institutions with financial planning, the more I just think that this is not just a job, but it's somewhere where you can really stay as a career, and it's just a great place to be. It's a lot of information. There's certainly the super space is really, really complex, and I think a lot of people come into financial planning and think it's really just about the finance side of things, and that's obviously a really important part of it, but it's a whole lot more about less tangible things, the bigger picture, about goals, about really teasing out some of those sort of things. So it to me is very much, it's a conversation around, what is it that client is wanting to achieve. Often there's a lot of education around that in terms of here are some things they might have heard of, and are they going to work or not, or here are some strategies that they may not be aware of. But really, people often come in with this sort of idea of, I just need to look at the super, but there's so much more to that in terms of looking at insurance, or looking at, retirement planning, or all of those big picture holistic things. I really wish that there was more practical, simple financial concepts and stuff taught in schools. I think it'd be an amazing thing to be able to have, talking about super, talking about tax, talking about, those sort of really basic concepts. By the time that they realise that it's really important, sometimes it's too late. The power of compounding interest is just one of the, it's one of the golden things of looking at that, and looking at, how much you can do with small steps if you get someone in their 20s or 30s versus somebody who comes in a few years before retirement. Look, I would say that it's such an important part of looking at making sure all of your affairs are in order, and thinking about the long term in terms of retirement, but also the short term in terms of protection, and making sure that if something happens that you are protected with insurances and stuff. You're going to come away with some more information and can make some decisions, or you may come away with something a whole lot more in terms of a financial plan. It really does seem like a family, and it doesn't just seem like just somewhere you turn up to pull a paycheck, and that's really nice. It's nice to have the flexibility to do work with a wide variety of clients and stuff. And yeah,